Because just under a mile southeast of Silbury Hill, there's a giant tomb where the dead had been honoured since the very earliest Neolithic farmers settled in this region. Just 60 years ago, though, it had thousands of us captivated in our very own living rooms. Back in 1955, someone at the BBC had the crazy idea of televising archaeology. Duh, as if that could ever work. And they decided to do an archaeological dig in order to demonstrate what life would have been like for Neolithic people. And the site they chose is at the top of this hill.
Good evening and welcome to the West Kennet Long Barrow. We've just been looking at some of the people who were working on it, and here am I standing on the edge of it.
In the 1950s, Britain fell in love with archaeology.
One of our party is going to walk along that ditch with a flag on a pole to show you where it is. There he goes.
This relatively young science became the tonic for a nation racked by war and rationing.
He's going down into it.
I hope the same man appears.
Oh, I trust so, yes.
Buried Treasure was a hit, making its presenter, Glyn Daniel, a star. It raised archaeology's popular profile, ensuring it became a subject on offer at the new universities of the 1960s. Hundreds of young people wanted to study it. In this, one of the biggest burial chambers in the country, were the actual bones of 46 prehistoric Britons. And it's only in the last few years that modern statistical modelling techniques of carbon dating have thrown new light on this tomb.
It had been thought that the 46 bodies people were put in just every now and again over the 1,000 years that this tomb was open. But actually now we know the people all died within 20 to 30 years of each other and were all buried around about 3,600 BC, towards the very beginning of the Neolithic.
What was the state of the bones that were found?
This is the jumble of bones in one of the chambers. There's just no rhyme or reason for the way they were laid out. It's not trying to recreate a body. Even bones of one person in more than one chamber, the bodies were left out somewhere, perhaps outside the tomb, and like sky burials, and they were left for animals to eat the flesh and so on. And then what was gathered up, the bones that were left were gathered up and then brought in here and placed in here.
And these burials are only the start of what seems to be going on here at West Kennet.
It seems to have been a place where people came back to, and they perhaps venerated the bones. Perhaps these were the bones of the ancestors in some way, but we've no idea who they were or why they were buried here.